Hi everyone, I'm so excited. New ID, at least my new ID. Maybe someone has done it, probably. And I was going to make another art journal. There is never enough. And then I thought, I don't want another art journal, a rectangle at least. So I decided I'm going for circles. And from then on, I went into a frenzy and started doing all kinds of circle. If you want art journal, it can be a mini album, it can be a greeting card, a brag book, whatever you want. And I've already made some examples because, as I said, I just went and started doing it, and I will show you what I've done, and I will talk with you with all the options and other ideas I have. So I started when I got the idea of doing a circle art journal. I started small and with whatever paper I have. Always use whatever you have. And I had this 6x6, a very thin paper. This is from the cheap store, but I figured this could be nice. The design is really nice, and I just started using this to make the journal, and this is it, and then I will show you. Now, I don't really like to measure, and I don't really like using a compass. It always moves. So here is an idea for you. I took all kinds of ugly 12 by 12 and started making templates of circles. So for me it's easier, up to you what you want to do. So when I have a template, I just take the one that I think will be the closest, and then I check if it fits and trace it and cut. So I have these templates. It helps me, I don't know. If not, if I will just use the canvas. So that's what I used for this one, and I just glued it back to back and already started doing things inside. And I decided, because it was a really thin paper, to use whatever I have, and less all kinds of, and it's small, all kinds of bits and pieces that were left on my table, and less wet media on it, so not to tempt faith. So I glued some circles I had from some painty paper, and then I had made this tree. And here I have, these are tissue paper that I've punched with this punch I have, glued it in the back, stamped a little bit, and this is a stamp that I stamped on another paper and glued it here. All kinds of bits and stuff that I had left here. So here we go, another page. Just having fun with this, and having fun having a circle as my substrate. So this is it, and the cover is just one of my faux handmade paper, and I have a video how to make them. So another one I've done is this one. I haven't done anything yet inside. I just wanted to show you how it I just took a paper napkins in just went with a rainbow, like blue, purple, blue, green, yellow, some orange and red to make it. Just an idea, you don't have to. And I used because you need something to back the paper napkin. I just used these file folders I have to be the backing. Now this I've done, we had me and my hubby, our anniversary, and I made him this. I'm really proud of how it turned out. I've used for this So this is how you make it into some kind of a greeting card. I've used papers from this Tim Holtz ideology, and it started just because I had here some pages. Let me see if I still have some that are each quarter is something else. So what I've done is just take a circle and make it into a page here. So I've got this and I just glued them back to back, all the circles I've cut from the papers. On each page I stenciled with black some kind of leaves and branches, and added this heart that I drew and colored with watercolors. The words are taken from the song S by George Michael and Mary J. Blige, I think. And not all the words, just the ones I wanted. So I printed them, stained the paper and glued it here. What I really like about it is I've put a Velcro dot here and here, so I can open it and it can stand, and I will explain how a circle can stand on a flat surface. So it can be open and stay like this, or it can be just closed. And to make any circle, if you want your art journal or break book or a greeting card to stand, you just trim a little bit at the bottom. It can hardly be seen, but that's what makes it stand. And I made the envelope again from one of the papers from the Tim Holtz. So I want to do something with you, not only explaining, and I wanted to have a circle art journal with some text in the back. So I have a lot of book pages. This is from some, I don't know, dictionary, I think. And I wanted to use this, and of course it's too flimsy, so I need a backing. So I picked this black Bristol paper that also I have a lot of, and I'm starting with this. Now, measurements. I'm always saying use what you have. So the measurements are decided by what you are using. I have the dictionary page, so I will just choose the circle that will fit inside, like this one. Or if I want only text without leaving some white, I will use this, or as I said, I will use the compass. So let's say I'm using this one, and I can of course take it out of the ring, but for now I will just put it as is, taking a pencil, tracing it. Of course I can also put more than one page and just cut at the same time several pages together. So I've got my circle, and as I said, I can just cut this, or I can do several pages, or I can also put it here on the black Bristol paper and cut at the same time. Up to you it's easier for you to do. So I'm just cutting it right now. I've already prepared some with the dictionary page and the backing with the black Bristol paper, but I want to show you one as we go. I also, another idea I had, I want another a a really large circle journal. So what I've done is take uglies from 12 by 12. They are always in every stack. There are some uglies and also a glossy, and I don't like a glossy paper, so I took 12 by 12 and cut all these circles, and they are going to be another art journal, and I will demonstrate this and this. Let's continue. So again, I can trace on top of the black with a white pencil, or I can just glue it down and then cut it out of the black. Now gluing, you can use again whatever you have. Now if it's flimsy paper, then a glue stick is enough. If it's something more, use white glue or silicone glue. Again, just well, it's more of experimenting and what works for you. I don't think there are a lot of rules about it. Of course, if you are planning to use a lot of wet media on top, then you do need to make sure that everything is glued down completely. Otherwise, your paper will just curl and rise, and it will be a mess. So I can just take white glue here and putting on the page. I can also, if you have a flimsy paper, very thin, and I can make this thing even with a newspaper, then maybe when putting down something like that, like white glue that is really wet, then it's better to use a sponge brush, because you won't have puddles and you will have an even spread of the glue. But right now I just used a brush, and I'm going to take some plastic card and just go like this from the inside towards the outside, so I can make sure everything is glued down. And I can already see that I didn't put enough glue on the edges, and I don't care that it goes outside. I'm going to cut it out of the black, so it really doesn't matter. So I managed to do, when I prepared the other ones, to take 2 circles like this from an A3 black paper. And for those who don't know A3 and A4 and all that, printer paper, and let me show you. I will take some printer paper that is not white, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So printer paper or copy paper is the A4, and 2 of a printer paper are making an A3. So that's the measurement. And of course, if I will cut an A4 into half, then it would be an A5. So this needs to be cut when it's dry, not when it's wet. Moving this aside, as I said, I've already prepared in advance more circles with a dictionary page, and I also got this large ones. And now making them into a journal, up to you. It can be back to back, it can be stitched, it can be whatever you want. You can also decide that you work on each page in advance, and only after you're finished, then you add it to your journal. And that's of course if you are going with back-to-back stitching, is just you need to stitch it in advance. So each circle is going to be folded in half, like so. And back to back is basically gluing each page back to back. You are making like a stack, and like so. And gluing the back of each one to the other one, like so. And if you don't like back to back, just do pile them each on top of each other and do a stitch. If that's how you like to go about binding, I can put them like this, each on top of each other, find what I want to do as a cover, because when you do stitching you need to have the cover ready. So I can put them like this, do a stitch here with the cover, and basically that's how my art journal will look. But I want a back-to-back, and when I do a back-to-back, I really like it because I can also decide to add more pages as I go. Even if I adhered all this back to back, if I want another one, I will just cut more, and when I'm finished with all those pages, I will add another one here, and another one, and another one, or just decide this is it and then do the cover. So that's how this is going to go, and I've already have some ideas of what's going to go here, but we'll see. And now I've got these ones that I prepared with the text. So on these ones I want to work like this in advance. I want them to be like with some theme, if I can call it like this. I want to do a gesso resist on each one, and like, well, like I've showed you what I've done here, that on each one I stenciled with black. Here I want to do a gesso resist, so I'm going to work them on them when they are like this, and only afterwards I will bind them together back to back. So I'm going to bring some stencils and we'll continue. Okay, so I'm back, and I decided that I want some words in the back. It goes with the dictionary that I have, and maybe some numbers, and it's all part of the background. It really doesn't matter what I'm going to stencil on each page. I've got gesso here, I've got makeup sponge, and what I'm planning to do is just lay my stencil. I don't care, I'm not trying to read it, it's just part of the background. I'm taking gesso and dabbing so I won't have too much excess on my makeup sponge, and just stenciling away. And I will just leave, I think, each time a corner to add some, as I said, some numbers, just so it would be a little bit more interesting. And I'm not concerned about the quality of the stenciling. It's adding interest in the back. You are not supposed to try and read it. So moving this, you can hardly see it, what's going on here. Even I can hardly see what's going on. And I'm just picking some numbers, again, doesn't matter. And let's go also like this. just for the added interest, and maybe some letters, big letters, as opposed to the stencil I've used. Really doesn't matter. Just moving along now. Let's do, oopsie, again picking some numbers randomly. Moving along to one of the stencil with words and just stenciling away. Really doesn't matter. So that's what I'm going to do to each of the circles, and I'm not going all over, just picking some, as I said, again randomly, and stenciling, and hoping that I will have some nice backgrounds, interesting nice backgrounds. So I'm going to continue doing all the circles and then I'll come back. I'm back. So everything is stenciled. Now I'm going to use my sprays. They are made from gel food coloring with water, no measurements. Just put some drops of the gel food coloring with the water, test it, and if it's intense enough, that then I'm happy. If not, I'm adding. And you can use watercolors, you can use diluted acrylics with the gesso resist, whatever you like. And also you don't have to do the gesso resist, and if you do, you don't have to have words and letters and numbers. You can do whatever you want in the back. So now I'm just going to play with the colors, and just the sprays are just the easiest and quickest way to go about it. And I'm just going to pick all kinds of colors and let them mix, and we'll see what happens. Really don't care, and it takes a little while for the gesso resist to show. And I'm putting my finger down because it, as I said, when you have wet media, that's what happens. It's starting to show here. I'm moving this aside and continuing to the next. I don't have a color theme. I'm just switching and having fun with it. And well, I'm trying to pick a little bit different colors than I usually go for, but as you can see already, the resist is starting to show. When the paper will soak the excess paint, then it will be more noticeable. But as I said, this is not so we can read it, it's just more details in the back. So once again, I just going to continue here spraying my pages. Too much mess here. As usual, I should have put a towel, but never mind. I'm doing another one just so you will see. But really, I'm just changing colors, and whatever shows. Let's find another green. Do I have another green? Maybe some neon green, I think. So I'm going to do all the other pages and I'll come back. I'm back. So everything is sprayed, all the pages are here and attached back to back. I'm really excited about it, and I'm just going to do a quick first page just so you will see what I'm talking about, using it as an art journal. But as I said, you can use it however you want. And you can also, if I forgot to say, you can use painty papers and you can use your jelly prints to make this kind of a circle art journal. I'm taking this stamp and using Momento Tuxedo Black. I just want to add more detail to my background. Just like so. And good enough, I think. This one didn't. Yeah. So stamping, and I've got some black here that I'm just going to go around and around the edges to bring everything together, so I will have some kind of frame. I think I will do it to all the pages in advance, but not right now. I'm just doing this page so you can see. Okay, and this is my treasure box, all the little bits that are on my desk, and I just put them here. So here are the tissue papers that I talked to you at the beginning and glued to one of the pages I showed you. Let's see, I've got more of this, maybe some of this. These are this was some colored corrugated paper from a project that and I've punched some circles. Maybe I can just add them here. No, not this. I'll just take a glue stick. Another detail in the background. Just using what I have. Let's see, here's another one. Maybe just the three. So I've got some, these I made on watercolor paper. I just played with some watercolors. Maybe this and this one. I don't know. I'm just playing around. So I'm going to glue this. Again, I'm just using the glue stick. There is nothing to it. You can probably hear one of my boys in the back. Still school from home. It's a year now. Maybe it will change now that most of the country is vaccinated. Let's do, no, I can't decide. Yeah, I wasn't too gentle with the glue stick and I managed to tear one of the leaves. So I'm just adding it here. Maybe I will need a more strong glue for this one, but right now I just want to show you the whole idea of this. Maybe a bird. I think I have something here. Not sure. Treasure box. Everything goes here. All the little bits. An origami butterfly. Dried flower. Doesn't work here. Let's see. I've got this. Oh my god, right now nothing works. Okay, here it is. Some birds. Maybe with another. Nope. Birds are just too big here. Maybe this. Nope. Nothing works. This works. Okay, now let's see. Maybe like this. Yeah, I'm going with this one. So just one more branch. One more branch and then the bird. I think I'll put it like this. It doesn't have to reach the bottom. And my bird. Like so. And. And let's give my bird a little eye here. Yeah. This leaf don't want to stick. Okay, so I'm just making the branches go way down. Don't know why. I just said that it doesn't have to, and I'm doing it. Yeah, like so. So here it is, one page already in this art journal, and the cover will be at the end when I finish with this. And this still needs to be dry, all the glue and things. I hope you liked it. I hope you'll make your own circle art journal or greeting card or mini album. Whatever you want. Have fun with doing circles. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.